Well, it's happened.
What?
I finally found a show that has gripped me, and I have an obsession with as much as I did Lost.
I bet I can guess it.
I know what it is.
Severance.
Yep.
It is
Yep.
the coolest show in the last decade or more. It is so good.
Well, then I don't have a lot of high hopes for its ending.
Well, I mean, you could be a dick about it, but whatever.
That's what I'm doing. I'm kidding. I haven't watched it. I don't know.
Have any of you watched it?
I've
know,
watched the
John,
first
you've
season.
watched some of it.
I've
Right?
seen all the way except to the last episode of season 1.
Oh my God.
I know,
That's ridiculous. The second season ramps everything up. Like, I mean, I was breathless after last night's episode.
Oh,
Like, I just like had to pace around the house for a
I
little
had
bit.
an asthma attack.
Heath, Zach, do you know the premise of the show?
My understanding of the premise of the show is that you go into work at this job and your consciousness is separated in some way. That
Separate,
work you doesn't know anything about, after work you.
Yeah. So
Right.
there's a procedure, and it's like this little device that they implant into your brain that's activated like locally at the place that they work. So like
Okay.
they go in this elevator, and once they go down to the floor that they work, there's some signal
The chip gets activated.
it gets activated. Yeah. And so they call them innies and outies, right? And so the people that work in Lumen, those are innies. And you're right. Like the people that work in Lumen have no
Like short-term
or-
memory. Yeah.
Well, they have no memory of who they were before they started working there. So they're which like at first it's like, okay, but then like when you really start to think about the implications of that, you've now created a second person with a second existence who like they're their own person. The innie is, they have their own experiences and relationships in the workplace, but they don't have any idea of what's going on. And the crazy thing is that their existence never stops, right? They like leave for the day, and then seconds later they're back on the elevator, like, because they don't sleep.
Yeah.
So like it's just a constant run of
Work.
and then the work is weird.
yeah.
Very
It's
weird.
like what they're doing, like the whole setting is so weird, and it has this very much like BioShock Infinite, like corporation as a cult vibes.
Definitely,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and the more that you like learn about it, like the deeper that gets, and there's like lots of lore about the founder of Lumen, and it's like all this weird. I wish I knew the word for it, but they like have 4 temperances that they have to worry about, and like woe and worry, and like it's like all this dogma that's like associated with it, and it's like. It's weird. Like, it's not, I mean, obviously there's a lot of corporate, like, satire in it, but, like, it goes deeper into this more kind of American industrial religion type thing,
I gotcha.
I'm gonna get Apple Plus. Like
it-
as soon
it-
as we get off of this
See,
recording
that's the
session,
thing. Now.
I'm gonna get it.
I am not going to get Apple Plus. I'm not going to do it. Like,
You should, though, because it's cheaper than any of
It
the other
is
streaming
cheaper.
systems,
Yeah,
and the content is so good because there's Mythic Quest. Oh my God, you would love Mythic Quest, dude.
Yeah.
You would love Mythic Quest. I mean, it's basically a spoof of a company that makes something like World of Warcraft. No,
I'm familiar with the premise of that show.
and it's Rob McElhenney. It's a lot of the people involved in It's Always Sunny that wrote and made that show, and it's really funny and it's really good, and it actually has a lot of heart. But there's
so many different
Pirate
shows
Bay.
on there that are really
There's
good.
Pirate
Yeah,
Bay.
I mean, like I don't have Netflix. I don't have Hulu. I don't have Prime. I don't have Paramount Plus. I don't have Max.
Saving money. That's what you are. You're doing.
Well, I just would just refuse to be a part of the system of piecemealing everything that you could get from cable at one point. Like
Right.
I'm
So
tired
that's-
of it. I'm
that's-
exhausted from it. I'm just not going to do it.
Zach, that's fine. Go to the Pirate Bay like anybody else who has those issues.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I mean, yeah.
It's the show. The show is worth the watch. And while you're there, go ahead and grab Mythic Quest because it is also worth the watch.
STF does not endorse Pirate Bay.
No, we do not. I'm just a
for that
Tampa Bay.
disclaimer.
I'm just a Tampa Bay fan. Don't worry about it.
There you go. There you go.
Head down to Tampa,
Yeah.
find a guy on the street. He's
Just go to-
selling
just go
bootleg DVDs.
Just go to Buccaneer Bay. It's no problem. You know, like you're good. You're good.
Have you ever been to Tampa?
I have.
I don't care if you've really been. Just it'd be hilarious if they actually called it Pirate Bay.
So, anyways, it's this season. You know, like the first season's kind of like setting it up and like kind of showing you what the deal is, and then the second, like right at the end of the first season, they blow everything up, right?
Yeah, they did.
And the second season is the fallout of that. And you know, there's some people have said, oh, the first few episodes are slow. I mean, yeah, okay, they are, but it's like a very atmospheric show. But like the second season is not slow. I mean, it is just every episode is like, I find myself grappling with philosophical questions and being on the edge of my seat all at the same time.
Oh, that's my jam, man. I
It's
love
so
that.
good. It's so good.
I mean, that first season, it took me probably a month to get past the first 3 episodes. I was just every time like, oh, what am I going to watch? Oh, Severance. Yeah, I'll watch that episode. But then once it started ramping up, like I went to bed at like 4 a.m. I watched that whole season.
Yeah, it does. It takes about 3 episodes to like kind of set up its world, and then it starts messing with it. It's so freaking good.
What episode are they on right now?
Just watched episode 6.
All right. My guess is they're going to be like 8 episodes. So
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 10.
all right. If I get it right now, I can just watch the whole season.
Yeah,
Cancel.
Do it. That's
Cancel
it.
Apple TV right after that.
You should watch Mythic Quest while you have it. Trust me.
I think I got halfway through the first season.
It's very good. All right. Are you guys watching, playing, reading, listening to anything that's got you enraptured right now?
Reading and playing, not so much watching.
Well, I've been watching. I've been on the animated kick. The new season of Invincible just dropped on Amazon.
I've only seen
I've
the
been
first
on it.
season of that,
Yeah.
Shit's
That's a
good.
good
It's
good
real
show.
good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then on the anime side of things, a new season of Solo Leveling
I
dropped,
have not
and that
been
is
on
my that is like the coolest anime I've seen in such a long time. It's a Korean anime, but like it's based on a light novel that's like a lit RPG, basically. You know, where. It's just some normal adventure guy who's super duper weak, you know, and then some crazy shit happens, and like he awakens, you know, the system, you know, and as a player, you know. So and then he progresses like that, but like it's the world building, the animation, the music, like the fighting, like it's all there, and it's like it's really good. And there's like none of that anime fan service that I've grown to despise. You know, like harems and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like real life, except shit happened like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, and like the real world's living with these like
Power levels
insane consequences, you know. So
now. Right.
and it's really cool.
I've been watching Better Call Saul.
Oh, I need to get
Yeah.
on that. I have never watched that.
It's really good. It's really good. I mean, and I say that because everybody. I mean, like I'm watching it because yes, it's very good. But everybody else has been. I mean, I was off of not watching it for like forever, but every person kept on saying, "Give it a watch. It's great. Go ahead and watch it." Finally gave in. Yep, I'm one of them now. It's great.
It's
Watch
great.
it.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yep.
See, I would
and you've
have
seen
to.
Breaking Bad, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
See,
Sorry,
that's
go ahead.
my hang up. I would have to watch Breaking Bad. And I did watch like a season, and I acknowledge it's a well-made show, but I hate it. Like it just like it's all the methy stuff. Like I don't know. It turns me off so much. It makes me feel disgusting. Like I don't like watching that show. It gives me
a repellent for you.
Yeah, it really is.
I get what you mean.
So I'll never get through that to be able to watch Better Call Saul.
I don't think you have to have seen Breaking Bad to watch Better Call Saul.
But I feel like I should.
You get a lot of context, but Better Call Saul is
You
like
get
a prequel,
so much
right?
context is the thing.
But
yes, technically you don't have to because they spell it all on the wall for a specific group of characters. You know, they put it all out there for, you know, but
I mean, it's a prequel to Breaking
Right,
Bad, so
right.
like, you know, it's
not going to have like the main character of Breaking Bad in it,
Sure.
you know? Yeah, but like still, you know, I mean, it just gives so much context. But yes, technically you could watch it without it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll consider it. I'll take it under advisement.
Fair.
I was racing. Well, I don't think Adam knew that we were racing, but I was trying so hard to catch Adam to finish Wind and Truth before him. And he pulled an all-night fantasy binge and stayed up till like 4 a.m. and finished the last. It's divided into 10 chunks that are each days, and it finished the 10th day in like a night. So like I'm in day 10 of that. So I'm getting pretty close to the end. So you know that's been my big reading project. I won't lie, it's annoyed me a little bit. I'm not talking about the content of the book. Like I started my New Year kind of thing. I was like, I'm going to read a lot and I'm going to track all my books. And I read like 5 books or novellas, added them to my little list that I made. And then I started a 1,300 page juggernaut. And I know that like in my heart, like I'm reading a lot, I'm achieving a lot, and knocking out a lot of words and chapters, but I'm not adding to my list, and it's pissing me off.
Well, I think you balance yourself out because you read 5 novellas, which are very short.
Well,
and
they
then
weren't
you
all
read
novellas. A couple
That's what you just
full.
said. I was just taking you
said
at your
novels
word.
and novellas.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But anyways, you could count. I think you could count that as 2 books. You know what I mean? Like,
what I'm going to do is when I put it on my list, it's going to be in all caps. You know? so I know it was big. But no, like I read Elantris. I read, that was the first thing I read.
Nice.
What was the book you gave me, Dustin?
Children of Time.
Children of Time. I read that. It was really good. But yeah, so I'm working on getting through Wind and Truth. I'm almost done. And then I went and picked out, like, I scoured my bookshelves. I was like, what are all the novellas I have that I should have read 10 years ago that I can, when I finish Wind and Truth, I can knock out like 3 or 4 novellas and get my list back up where I want it, you know? But then also I'm like 100%ing Cyberpunk, and that's been really satisfying.
Yeah, I finished Wind and Truth. I liked it. It's kind of a tough ending. I won't spoil it, but I've picked up another roadside attraction because Tom Robbins died, R.I.P. He's like one of my favorite writers of all time. So I'm rereading another roadside attraction, which I haven't read since I was like in my early 20s. Just pay tribute or whatever. Heath, have you read Villa Incognito?
No, I've read Still Life with Woodpecker, and I never finished the one that you like
Jitterbug?
so much. Jitterbug, yeah.
I didn't realize
you should read Jitterbug, but Villa Incognito is kind of short.
Yeah.
So if you want to add that to your list this year, it's like a little bit more modern,
Right.
It's
I
like
think
the
I
last
have
book
a
that he wrote.
copy of that somewhere in my stack
And
of books.
it's a pretty easy read. It's not one of his big kind of dense tomes like Skinny Legs or Jitterbug, but Jitterbug is the shit. So like I read that like every 5 years,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I remember because I was in my probably early 20s when I read that one, and I remember back when I still had Facebook, like posting chunks, like paragraphs of that book with no context whatsoever, as you do when you're young and stupid on Facebook. And like going back, like I deleted, like got rid of my Facebook several years ago, but I was like, went back and looked through some stuff because I was trying to get a job, and I was like, yeah, all this makes me look like a fucking crazy person. Like just posting 2 paragraphs of Tom Robbins shit.
Yeah, it's like here's 2 paragraphs on beats.
Yeah.
But it's also like so quotable and interesting because it just is a very different
the way it's written.
Yeah, it's some good prose, but
yeah.
What about you, Zach?
Well, I mentioned it before we hit record, but I've at the, I guess at my own behest, I don't know, someone mentioned it in our Discord recently, so I finally, Josh would be very proud of me, I finally started Control. Been playing through Control. I've been playing it very slowly, though. I'm reading every lore note in that bad boy. You know what I mean? All the optional extra stuff that I can find, I'm trying to find and consume. I'm taking in the environmental storytelling. So, I've only got a week before Monster Hunter Wilds comes out.
Right. It's the calm before the storm. Like, so many of us are going to be on that.
Whatever is unfinished on the 28th, it will remain unfinished.
Yeah.
So how long? What's your window?
For
However long it
how
takes.
long I'm going to be sucked into Wilds?
Yeah.
Forever.
Who knows,
I
dog?
mean, you got to put an exit ramp in there, dude, or we'll lose you forever. You know what I mean?
No, look, the Monster Hunter cycle is the same every time. Like,
Yeah, it is.
the new game comes out, and like for a few months there, it's pretty hardcore. Everybody's playing all the time, and then it slowly tapers off, and you still you'll get a year and a half of time of like people still getting together and being like, hey, let's hunt some monsters or whatever. But it won't be like all consuming for that whole year and a half.
Yeah.
It will be for a couple months.
Once you complete the initial ramp into Monster Hunter Endgame, at that point you can drop in and drop out anytime you want.
Right.
You're like, you've opened up the end game, and then you're free to kind of
Grind when you feel like it.
grind whenever you feel like it. Right, right, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how big the game is going to be.
I'm just wondering how long our listeners will have to wait before they get another episode.
Oh no! Yeah, we're gonna record. Don't worry about that. We'll record. We'll record.
I mean, he says that, but y'all,
but-
last week I was like, hey, we need to move recording date for this reason. He's like, as long as it's this day, because if it's after this day, I am not available.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
why? What's going on? He's like,
for
Monster
the whole,
Wilds is coming
for
out.
the
I was like,
whole
oh.
release weekend, I was like, I am unavailable. I'm sorry. I cannot break free in order to record anything.
And that's completely understandable because
No, that's fair. That's fair.
if I did, I would be.
Oh, you'd be miserable. Yeah.
I'd be so pissed at having to be there that it wouldn't be fun for anyone.
Yeah.
So I want to give you all the best version of me.
I love that
on
this
these
is how
recordings.
you regulate your emotions, by regulating us responding to your emotions.
I'm going to be what I'm going to be, but you guys don't have to suffer through it.
I'm doing you a favor, guys.
Trust me, I'm doing y'all a favor. Y'all act like Heath and John won't be right there with me the entire time.
I know they will.
Yeah.
Very true.
I want to try to, but
If my computer will make it look half decent, I will.
I think it will, man.
It
I
will.
think it
Quit.
dude.
Yeah. Just run the benchmark.
I did multiple times,
Oh. You didn't post the results, did you?
numerous times. I did.
He did.
Oh, okay.
It's fine with Frame Jim.
Oh, brother.
It's fine.
It's going to be fine. You just run it at 15 FPS and you'll be no problem.
Yeah, just play it looking like dog shit and just
No issue, dude, right?
playing Monster Hunter Minecraft over there.
That's it. It's a crossover event.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, it's a CPU bottleneck is what it is, because it's simulating so many things
All the time. Like,
all the time,
Yeah.
constantly. Right? It's just like constantly simming tons of different stuff. So it's not even the graphics, right? Because there are people who have brand new graphics cards but have an old CPU. They're getting like John got bottlenecked
Right.
by his CPU when he ran the benchmark before putting his new rig together. So
well, speaking of bottlenecked, you guys got bottlenecked into this plot that's unfolding on the Forever, or no, not the Forever Reliquary. That's a different game. For
And
the
it's
Final
Reliquary.
Horizon. Yeah, the Final Horizon. Because you guys know something that's going on, but so far the leadership on the ship is refusing to see truth.
Oh,
because
the
it's too hard.
brainwashed cult people don't want to admit that there's a problem? Surprise.
Well,
Yeah, this whole
we're
thing
the problem.
it's
Wait.
just hitting way too close to
Okay.
home for me right now.
All right, we'll deal with it. It's just a game. But two, they're not brainwashed, right? Like the people in the cult are obviously, but like the abbot and the pilot aren't brainwashed by anything. They just don't believe that one of their own could do this, right? Like they don't want to see that one of their people, their family, has gone so far off the deep end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll soften it and say self-deluding.
Yeah, I just want. The only reason I'm making that distinction is that they are not part of the cult, and there's a lot of people on the ship that are not part of the cult that have no idea that the cult is even there. Right? This isn't the whole ship is a death cult. There's a small group of monks within this ship which is otherwise a perfectly normal monastery of Solarian monks, and studying black holes is a totally normal thing for them to do. The problem is that you guys have discovered that there's this small sect of the monks who want to do more than just study the black hole. They want to become one with the black hole. And so that's an issue. That's a pretty big issue.
Yeah.
And we left off with you guys finally tracking down Auneel, the mechanic, and she led you to these back halls where somebody had scrawled on the wall a pretty implicating message that confirms that Cora is in on all of this, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not great. I'll repeat the message. Death is life. Oblivion is renewal. Cora is our savior. Onward to the final horizon. So, John, you've mentioned a few times how it bothers you that the name of the ship is the Final Horizon, and it also seems to be like the goal of this death cult. I think that a lot of that should just speak to how people get twisted, right? Like, they're twisting something that's been around for hundreds of years to mean something else. You know what I mean? So that's just the more insidious nature of a cult, right? Is that because the Final Horizon is the name of the ship and has nothing to do with the death cult. It's because it's been the name of the ship for hundreds of years, but this death cult has repurposed the name of the ship because they believe that this is the Final Horizon for the Final Horizon.
Like, they espouse some truths to get you kind of there, and then twist those to kind of
It must be fate, you know? The
Right,
ship's named
right.
the same thing.
Well,
Right,
it just
right.
it like helps them further believe their own bullshit. You know what I mean?
right.
So that is where we left off. You guys are in the hallway, and Auneel is kind of standing right there, and she had gestured that, like, you know, she put a finger to her mouth, said shh, and then gestured to the whole ship, kind of indicating that Cora is always listening, you know. But she's not running away at this point. You know?
Okay.
But she's keeping her distance, but she watched you guys look at the message to see how you would respond, you know.
I activate the signal jammer.
There you go. All right, book over.
Okay, it does
The
not.
Cora signal is jammed.
So Cora is not giving out a signal, you know. She's part of the computer, you know, of the ship, you know.
Right. Yeah, I think we just all just kind of like definitely side eye each other at that. But
Sayun will lean over to like Sue Raya and say, perhaps we should invite her onto the Prima Rana for tea.
yes, yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely, Sayun. Auneel, would you like some tea?
Her eyes go wide, and she kind of looks all around, and she seems a little unsure. Why don't we go ahead and roll a diplomacy check? Zach, you can try to roll to aid. All you gotta do is get a 10, you know, so it's worth a shot.
I guess, man. I mean,
It's worth a shot. It's worth a
I
shot.
have a -1.
So you just gotta roll an 11 or better, you know?
Can I say something to 8 as well?
Well, what'd you get, Zach?
4.
No. All right, John. Well, Dustin, I'll give you one shot here. What you gonna say?
Say, her name's Auneel.
Yeah.
Auneel, we have a hot steaming kettle waiting on the pre-marana, and I have a very rare brew of tea. If you would like to try it, wink. I don't say wink, but I wink.
All right. You can roll that aid with a -2.
Emily's not on this show. You don't say the wink. You know?
Emily is here in spirit.
Diplomacy. That's probably not gonna do it. Well, it is a 10.
Yeah, that does do it. It's exactly
right,
does
cool.
it.
Nice.
All right. So, John, you have
sure?
1 aid,
All right.
and you can roll the extra d6 on this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that was a 7 on the die for a total of 18. Well, 18 plus the 2 from Dustin. That's going to be bring it to a dirty 20.
The DC was 20.
Nice.
So the aid got you there.
Thank
she just
you,
kind of
Gildy.
furtively like nods and then like kind of steps aside to let you guys walk past her, kind of hugging herself up against the wall, you know.
All right, guys, stay casual. Just
And just to remind you, Auneel is a Demaya Lashunta,
Okay.
just so you can kind of picture her in your mind. She's
Gotcha.
wearing mechanic overalls, you know. The
Roger
Demaya are the like tall, lean ones.
Yeah.
Lanky, dexterous.
Like Ziva.
Like Ziva, yep.
Yeah,
She
I
must
just
be
imagine
related
we're all
to Ziva
just-
too, aren't all?
Yeah, just another Rajni out there,
Not
right?
a monolith.
Auneel,
Fucking bunnies,
Rajni.
dude.
So she follows. You guys just go straight to the ship.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we nod at her on our way out.
Right.
Maybe make a offhand comment. Please, at your earliest convenience. You know.
I think
Okay.
probably right now.
I thought she was following us.
Yeah.
I mean, she will if that's the plan. You know?
I think importantly, right now would be the play. Personally,
Yeah,
Because if Cora's always watching, we don't want to be alone.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
otherwise,
that again. I'm trying to emphasize the expedition here.
Gotcha.
You know, the expediency, rather.
Yeah,
Excuse
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're just keeping it cash on the journey back to the to the Primarana.
Join us on our tea expedition.
As you make your way through, and she can lead you now through these
Okay.
tunnels, so you don't have to roll the survival checks to get lost. As you're making your way downstairs into the airlock that connects your ships, because your ships are still connected, the pilot approaches you, Sayun.
Okay. I don't remember what her name.
Yeah,
was?
Nanura.
Nanura. Okay.
Yeah. And she just says, fellow Kasoth, perhaps you would like to train with me and a few of my friends tomorrow morning.
He looks at her and raises a slight eyebrow, you know? And then, very well.
I'm going to change that, though. Later tonight. Not tomorrow morning. She said tonight.
Maybe she would want
this
some tea as well.
no, this is directed specifically.
Just to say,
I mean, like, not that all of you can't go with Sayun to the training, but she's like very much like whispering to Sayun. Like as everybody's going into the airlock, she kind of catches you at the end. Sayun says,
Right.
Well, she
Yeah.
says, perhaps you and your team can can join me and some of the younger recruits for training this evening.
That sounds most enriching for us both.
Yes.
Where might we meet?
In the training room. It's right over there. She points it out to you.
Big old neon sign says train.
There's like 8 hallways and turns before you get there. You'll
They
have
all
to
have
roll
like
several
huge neon
survival
signs.
checks.
Say training room. Very well.
She gives you a very like lingering look.
Yeah, a
and then
pointed,
nod.
pointed look. No. Yeah, Sayun got it. He
and
understands.
Do we want to invite her for tea?
I
as
don't
well?
think she. I think she needs a separate meeting.
Okay.
is what it is.
So Auneel looks at. Well, Auneel going with you, and
Nanura
kind of watches you guys go. What do you call those little connecting tunnels when the two ships are connected by?
like a boarding platform.
I guess I don't know. Anyways, as you're walking on that attachment tunnel, you know,
Airlock?
Airlock's what's it's connecting two airlocks. But anyways,
It's like a sky bridge, is what it is. But it's
yeah.
but
There's a name for it, but I just can't think of it. Anyway,
Like a
Nanura's
docking berth?
sure. Nanura is like standing with her arms clasped behind her back, just kind of watching you guys go. And you get back on your ship, and I assume that you want to. Where do you want to take Auneel?
I mean,
the bridge or the
Yeah,
like the galley.
well, somewhere private, right? I mean, she's a very
Right.
secretive person, or like paranoid or afraid, and maybe having more people around than just us at the moment might.
perfect.
you know.
Yeah.
Could we reserve the beautiful garden area for our
Sure,
tea
yeah,
party?
you could.
Oh
perfect.
yeah, calming. Yeah.
Yeah, you could take her up to the observation deck. So you guys go up there, and it's changed, right? Like, it's still beautiful, but like there's now like different parts of different planes because you guys have jumped again, and so this thing just seems to be like changing every time you jump. But it's always pulling just like beautiful parts of the world, and you can, the whole top of this is clear, so you see the black hole kind of swirling in the distance. So that's the setting that we have here for this conversation. And she looks very nervous, but not necessarily skittish, right? Like, she's here.
Auneel, I just want to let you know that you are safe to speak freely here. There has been nobody from the Final Horizon that has come on without any kind of review.
Okay. My name is Auneel. What do you know?
We know that elements aboard your vessel have something of a perverse desire to essentially end their lives. They want to.
She as you're
hurl.
talking, she's like, shh, shh, shh. And she points at your comm units and like does the hand across the neck, like, kill your comm units.
Now I hit the signal jammer and block any signals between the two ships.
Boom. That'll work.
What now?
My comm unit's saying I have to update and shut down.
Damn it, the Wi-Fi is down
I gotta
again.
install new drivers before
All right,
I can
let's just-
shut it off.
Yeah, let's just wait 10 minutes and then we'll have this conversation.
The tea will be ready.
No, dude, I love the idea of everyone sitting there waiting on their update.
Yeah.
And like, we haven't had a signal for a while, so, and then it's like, all right, okay, comm units are off.
All right, comm units are off. All right, yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yes, I can't remember what the Dame Judi Dench's actual name is. Baratna?
What?
Baratna? No, like, the belter.
Bratwurst.
Oh yeah, bratwurst. That's
Baratna.
it.
Baratna. What's her name?
I can't find it. I think it's Baratha.
Baratha? We'll go with that.
I thought
It might be Baraga though.
Baraga.
Yeah, Baraga.
in my
Okay.
notes I just wrote Dame Judi Dench every time she's mentioned.
That's like supplemented her actual name, or supplanted rather.
It's supplanted her actual name.
Yeah.
The Dame Judi Dench appears to be leading a cult dedicated to reaching a new stage of evolution through void transformation.
Baraga? She's part of this?
She solicited me to join this cult, as it were.
I didn't know who all was involved in this. All I know is that Cora is either at the head of this or assisting them or something. I don't know.
Please, slowly, if you would. Explain what you know about Cora's involvement.
I know that some monks were part of this void cult or death cult. I found some notes. I lost the note. I had it at one point, but I found a note, and that's what got me started on trying to figure out what's going on. I was just searching through the whole and looking for weaknesses and I found that Cora is part of this, and so I've been trying to use an old terminal to hack into Cora's files. I must admit I've been unsuccessful. But I did get to look at one file. It's called the Singularity Protocol. I was able to grab it, but I don't understand it. Maybe you could look at it. I don't know, but this is my home, and I'm afraid that all of my friends, my family, our home is just going to be destroyed. And I tried to stop it. I tried to find more information, but I couldn't. And I can't trust anybody. And Cora's always watching. She's everywhere.
You can trust us.
Maybe.
What? We will show our trust with our actions. We have no ill will to you at all, or to anyone that doesn't want to throw themselves into a black hole. But what is this?
Cora believes she's helping.
Isn't that what most people that have gone over the deep end think, that they're helping someone else, when actually it will just lead to their destruction? But what is this Singularity Protocol? Do you have it?
I don't know, but she pulls out a little USB drive or whatever the Starfinder equivalent is and hands it to you.
Okay, we need to get this on a what is it called? An air-gapped terminal and analyze this.
Thank you for saying air gapped on that. Yeah.
Okay, do we have an air-gapped terminal available on?
I can make one.
All right, roll a computers check.
All right, just unplugging the Ethernet wire. Boom, air gap.
There you go. That's all it is. Turn off that Wi-Fi. Airplane mode.
All right, computers, here we go. Pretty good. That is a 22.
All right, so you set it up on this air-gapped terminal, and it starts decoding, but it looks like it's going to take, 8 to 10 hours to finish decoding. But you start the process, and it's just like cycling it through like a bunch of different decoding prompts and stuff like that. But it's just going to take a while it's very heavily encrypted, Don't throw any like specific tech terms because I'm just throwing this shit out there. Okay, what you got, Jack?
Okay. Now, I just want to rewind a little bit, Auneel. And so you mentioned that there were some of the monks. Now, would you be able to, aside from Cora, was there anybody that you might of note that perhaps belonged to operations or security that we might know as far as who would be on the side of this death cult?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I've only recently discovered this after whenever we popped in front of this black hole and I was doing repairs on the hull. That's where I discovered these notes. This is... I've just kind of been in hiding for the last day or two.
Well, then my next lead-up question to that is that are you alone in these efforts, or is there anybody that has been assisting you that perhaps we can bring into the fold?
I don't know. I don't know who I can trust.
Been working alone on this, and that's amazing, frankly.
Auneel, do you think they will miss you for a few hours?
No.
They don't. Well,
they haven't been able to find her. She's been elusive.
If you would like, you seem very stressed, anxious, and for good reason. But the Primarana, my quarters, is open to you if you would like to take a rest without all of the paranoia of being watched by Cora all the time.
It might be worth sending her to Jamila.
I was waiting for a gap for that. If Aneel's gonna stay, Jamila, I think, would be a pretty calming presence, and if they need anything, like, she can, bring them some more tea, whatever, and maybe be somebody to talk to if they just need to get some stuff off their chest to someone who doesn't have skin in the game.
Yeah, Jamila is a spiritual advisor. She's kind of, an emotional support NPC,
Yeah. The crunchy mom of the crew,
Yeah. So, yeah, you can set her up with Jamila, and Jamila will definitely take care of her. Okay, so now what?
Well, we have to wait for this to decrypt before we get any further.
Eventually, we need to go meet with the pilot.
I think, since there's 8 or 9 hours, right? Like, wouldn't it be an efficient use of our time to go do that and then come back when it's done?
Right.
Yeah. All right, so you guys head back over to the final horizon.
What else can we do,
Yeah, no, that's the play. And you go to the training room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see Nanira in there. There's a few monks kind of like doing katas and exercises against some dummies in there. But she pulls you over to like one corner of the training room, kind of waves you guys over,
Okay.
And, she asks you kind of like, she just nods at you like, okay, what do you have to say?
Oh. So, I guess we should be concerned about Cora, though, on this ship.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, with that in mind, I don't know how much of anything we should actually be saying.
Well, keep in mind of all the things that you've already said in the meeting.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Right.
So, we just stand on business, huh? In that case, fellas, is there any reason that we shouldn't just
Can
be
I
honest?
can I check
think-
for like listening devices or like cameras or anything?
You don't need to roll. She is in the ship.
Yeah,
Right.
she's the
You know, like, yeah. You should
My guess-
presume that she's listening, you know.
The only thing that we really didn't mention is the fact that is Cora's involvement and Cora, or that Cora may be listening. In other words, that's all we haven't like addressed in that meeting. So that's one thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's still one card that we still have on our side.
I'm kind of the mind that at least for Seun, he would be tired of dancing around the situation simply because lives are at stake, you know. So for him, you know, I think he would be like, "You heard our words earlier.
Yes.
What do you think about them?"
She raises one of her arms and a finger on that arm, and she, like, beeps a couple things into her, like, comm unit or whatever, and some loud, like, exercise music starts playing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Let's get physical.
Yeah. It's like a
loud as
holographic
hell,
projection
too.
of Olivia Newton-John starts dancing in there. And she leans in and says, "It is distressing that there are those who not only want to stay close to this black hole, but perhaps join with it. I've been trying to convince Teleris that we should back away on a good day. This saddens my heart that my brothers and sisters would choose this destiny. I agree with you that the black hole is dangerous, and as such I've made sure that I am in control of the flight path of this ship. I remain in control of it, which is why I will not leave this ship. That could give anybody, particularly Cora, the opportunity to change it."
Yeah, Seun's nodding along, you know, he's following.
What is it that you plan to do about this?
Seun looks to the rest of the party like, "We were hoping that you might have some idea. How can we convince your brothers and sisters that this course of action is flawed at best?"
Here's the issue. According to the abbot and the rest of the people aboard this ship, regardless if there are people that want to throw themselves in the black hole, the abbot believes that he has control of this ship and that will not happen. Do you have any, and as long as I'm piloting, it won't. Do you have any concrete proof of anybody involved in this?
We don't want to mention who, but we can show at least the information that we've retrieved.
Yeah, well, you know, she has already mentioned Cora. So
Right, she did.
if we want to show her the screenshot that we took, right, or not the screenshot, but the actual photo, the actual photograph that we took of the writing on the wall that Auneel showed us. I think that's
Yeah, we can all.
and then we have the user 1 and user 2 conversation.
Yeah.
You also have the crumpled up note.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Nanira looks over this and she says, "Okay, yes. Do you mind if I keep these? I will show this to the abbot in the morning. Perhaps I can talk some sense into him. I am one of his advisors.
Sense motive.
Sure.
We should have established copies of these before we left the ship.
I mean, there's no way we're First of all, it's a digital file. It's not a matter of like giving it to them and we no longer have it. That doesn't work that way.
With the exception of the crumpled up note, but everything else.
Except for the crumpled up note,
Right.
which we can take a picture of and send a digital copy.
Like, I'm just imagining, like, while this is going on, Riot just, like, pulls out her little cell phone and is just like, okay, got it.
Click.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can roll that sense motive.
I mean, my sense motive is shit, y'all. So like, I'm not even like trained in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, we're all
sense
here.
motive.
We can do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have discerning eyes.
Can I roll a sense motive untrained?
Yes.
Fuck.
All right, 16 for Sayun.
A lot of middling rolls here. 12.
Right, are you not rolling?
I got an 11.
Okay. Well, I mean, all I'll say is that you've decided to trust this person this far, and they have indicated from the jump, even at the meeting, that they're inclined to believe you, and that they are afraid of the black hole and do not like how comfortable they are, even at this safe distance. You know.
Fair enough. Digital copies only. Not giving nobody no physical. The only copy that we have of something. But I'm okay with turning over that evidence if, from our interactions, we believe that Nanura can convince the abbot, or at least make a more compelling case than what we did. Then we have to try, right?
Yeah.
And then she says, "All right, here, if you don't mind, let me. Can I install a small piece of software in each of your comm units so that we can communicate on a very private channel?"
I'll just have to do preliminary scans of the software. I'm sure you understand for security reasons.
Of course, I would expect nothing less. So roll a computers check.
She's just installing Signal on all of our phones.
Yeah.
right. Here's a
So
penumbra
that's
protocol.
24.
24. Yeah, so it looks pretty clean. It definitely looks like some encryption software. She basically installed Signal on your the app Signal, not the Signal screens. On your so it's only text.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't communicate vocally, but it is encrypted text, and it looks pretty stout. You know, I mean, you know that you don't really know the extent of Cora's abilities, but you know, from a computer standpoint, it looks pretty good.
It seems like it's running 20,000 qubit quantum encryption, so I don't think
It's
Cora can break
30,000
this.
actually.
Oh yes, 30,000. Twos and threes, they kind of look the same.
That's a
She
premium
says,
subscription.
I suggest even so that you still speak in vague words.
In vagaries.
Vagaries.
Yeah.
What is this, vagaries? Is this some sort of packed worlds term I've never heard before?
Yes, it is. There's lots of strange grammar rules in common.
Okay. All right. Well, perhaps you should train with me. She says a little louder, just so you've broken a sweat. So you know, it'd be good for you anyway.
Of course.
You know, if you want to roll an acrobatics or athletics check just to see if you impress Nanura, you can. There's no actual like
why not?
consequence, but
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for Raya to just like, she's stayed quiet through all this because she had been kind of frazzled and pissed off and didn't want to make anything worse. And so an opportunity to just throw herself into some like physical training, like without a word, is probably a bit of a relief. So not super great. 16.
20 for Sayun.
Gil's just stretching. I rolled an 8.
Gil's enamored with the holographic Olivia Newton-John.
With that was a 6, by the way, in the roll.
Sabana?
Yeah, I'll work out. Why not?
Sayun, you do impress Nanura. She notices all your Kasathan stances and fluid movements with pride and impression. She's impressed. Subana, she really, you got 25, sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Subana is like just out there elegantly showing off the Vesk mastery of combat.
I have the whole collection on disc. Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, Raya, you came up just a hair short. She's still impressed, but you're probably like you said. You're frustrated and angry, so maybe you're acting a little. You're being a little over aggressive, in your workout. So it's not like
you forget I'm not training with Vesks, or something like that.
I think Raya's doesn't give a shit about impressing her either. It's just like, this is for me.
Right. So you guys, you do all that, and then she nods and says, "I'll see you in the morning." And you guys,
good luck.
Congratulations, you've leveled up.
Not quite.
Dang.
It was a good try though.
Dude, it'd be nice if just 15 minutes of exercise one time.
That we were too experience short,
However, I will give out a round of inspirations.
Okay, we'll take that.
All right, so Zach, roll a d6 for me.
Sure thing, Chief. That's a 3.
Okay, a 3 is general, so roll a d20.
Okay. It's a 20.
Oh, shit.
I get the nat 20 on the most worthless roll
that's
to get
how
nat 20.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an Alex G.
Oh, very nice.
All right, get ready.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, this one is for Steve, presumably from Hideous Laughter.
But then why is it being read on air on here?
I don't know. Something in the Rain by Nirvana is playing, and that's the Batman song. But it's actually Something in the Way, not Something in the Rain. But I'll forgive you, Alex. But it's sung by Skittermanders.
Something in the way.
Oh God.
Here, so that's playing in the background of whatever I'm about to read now.
4th day, Lamashon 31st. The Absalom streets are crowded for the holiday, even with the rain that causes a -2 to perception checks. Hidden in the chaos is the element, waiting to strike like the Velstrak. And I'm there too, watching. 2 years of nights have turned me into a nocturnal skittermander. I must choose my targets carefully. It's a big space station. I can't be everywhere, but they don't know where I am. We have a signal on the EchoNet now, for when I'm needed. When that light hits the EchoNet, it's not just a call. It's a warning to them. Fear is a tool that requires a DC 13 will save to negate. They think I'm hiding in the shadow plane, but I am the shadow plane.
Okay.
Shadow.
Of course.
I wish I could say I'm making a difference, but I don't know. Murder, robberies, splitting the party, assault. 2 years later, they're all up. And now, this. The station is eating itself. Maybe it can't be saved, but I have to try. Push myself, mechanically like in Call of Cthulhu. These nights all roll together in a bull rush, behind the mask. Sometimes in the morning, I have to force myself with an athletics check to remember everything that happened.
What I think the most funniest part of that is that he's a skittermander, and he's like, this gruff voice.
Right. In my head the whole time I was just imagining, I am the night.
Okay.
That was, you know what? That was, I think, one of Alex's best, to be honest with you.
You get an inspiration.
I bet you Steve did enjoy that very much. And I know that Steve listens to the show, so Steve, that was for you, buddy. Okay, Heath, roll D6 for me.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Oh, you know what that means.
Personal.
The highest number.
Roll another D6.
A 4.
God damn it, Alex. I'm going to start charging him ad fees. You know, like, he takes up so much of our time.
Promoting
but I love
your
it, Alex.
brand.
I love it, Alex, but goodness gracious. All right. See, he crosses all the universes and it fucks me up. Okay. Dude, I just got back from the most amazing as balls Gerald Leftwinkle and the Winklers show at the Alkenstar Manifest last month. Saga and Simpson was the opener, and they were fine, but they were followed by Otyugh Osborne, and man, even though that freaky little garbage creature is old as fuck and ate so many garbage drugs, he can still rock out with his weird tentacle out. With that being said, right after that was Baby Metal, and holy fuck, more like advanced metal, am I right? Finally, we got to the main event of Gerald Leftwinkle and the Winklers, GLWW if you're a true fan. The pyrotechnics were out of this world. Hell, out of this plane even. He played all the hits. They played Funk Aerodin, Sunroof Shantak, Prismatic Rays, Taldor Chandelier, and Cheese. You had to be there, dude. Show of a lifetime.
Jeez.
This is like Bernard
Alex-
Leftwinkle's great-grandson.
Yeah, Alex, not everybody who listens to the show listens to all our other shows, man.
Well, they should.
They should.
Agreed.
All right.
Rocking out with the tentacle out.
All right. Thank you, Alex, again. Dustin, you're up.
D6.
Yep.
1.
Personal for you. Roll another
Ooh.
D6.
Get personal.
Let's get personal.
1. 2
personal. 2 1s. All right. This one's from Shan.
Hey, Shan.
Need something to wet your whistle pop? Try Dripped Crashables, the perfect peppermint swirl to cure your bleaching woes. Proven to brighten your gills. They're mystically delicious.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you, Shan. We need more personals for Dustin. We're running a little low. That's a call out to our listeners, please. All right, John, you're up.
4.
4. All right, this is general for you. Roll a D20.
All right. 7.
7.
Correct.
All right. Please don't be Alex. Please don't be Alex. Please don't be Alex. Just kidding. It's J-Rod. Just J-Rod.
What up?
My boy.
My boy. All
Waiting
right.
on it.
This is another Tokyo Drift Delvers.
Nice.
Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back. That's it.
That's it.
Short and sweet.
Life
Nice.
advice.
Family.
That's why
Family.
you're my boy.
All right.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
So you guys make it back to the ship. You see that Jamila already has Auneel.
Janelle.
Yeah.
They like did a
Just
Dragon
fusion
Ball
dance.
Z fusion. Yeah. It's like we left you alone for 2 hours and you've already Dragon Ball Z fused. Where'd you get the earrings?
Jamila already has Auneel asleep, and she looks like she's
Knocked
sleeping
him right
hard.
out.
Yeah, just punched her right in the face. And so is there anything you guys want to do before you go to bed? Anything that you guys want to talk to each other about, or?
Yeah, I do want to address Sayun. And I think just kind of pull Sayun off to the side. And it's in Sayun, I wanted to apologize for, I guess, putting you on blast early there during that meeting back on the Final Horizon. But I think we all understood that this was the best choice moving through. And I hope you don't hold anything against me for putting you out like that.
Consider
the matter a non-issue, Subana.
I
The only
appreciate it.
thing that matters here is ensuring that we can prevent a catastrophe here in this black hole.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. It was not a concern.
Yeah.
It was not a
Now
concern. It was not a concern. Now, Kith.
I think Raya, like now that Jamila has kind of gotten Auneel to calm down, probably got some much needed sleep. She's probably been paranoia, not sleeping for days.
Right, right.
So I think she wanting to be quiet and not wake up Auneel. Kind of comes and just like puts a hand on Jamila's shoulder and says, "Thank you. I appreciate you looking after our guest here. I've been through quite a lot."
Of course, it's we've all been through a lot, and I am missing our talks a bit. How are you doing?
Not great, to be honest. This, I don't know. This has all been quite frustrating. I mean, and gestures broadly at everything, like the whole situation, sure, but this in particular, I don't want to get in the weeds with it, and we've had to worry about, security of information, but I'm hoping we'll be able to get through and, I don't know, do something to help these people. But I've just been frustrated and angry about all this. I just hit kind of a breaking point, I guess, and fortunately got to blow off some steam earlier. But yeah, I also miss having a little time to unwind, and I think once we finish all this, I'll be in quite desperate need of a good talk and sorting out some emotional stuff and some religious stuff. Like, it appears Desna's all involved in this, and I don't know anything about all that.
Yes, it does appear that Desna has taken an interest in all of us. And Raya, I know that you had reservations about what your life plan was supposed to be, given that you are supposed to be part of the Skyfire Legion, and that was something that you rejected. Yes, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, and it's kind of a tenseness, with Ryan. She's like, yeah, I had my reasons, but that's what my parents wanted for me, and not as much what I envisioned.
Right. Yes, it is interesting then that you have been selected by Desna, for whatever reason, to still be a protector and perhaps even a hero. Maybe it is a fate that was always meant for you. I must say that I've always seen it in you, that you have the capacity to do great things and to help others. But I wonder how this must be feeling for you.
And she just like kind of puts her fingers, pinches the bridge of her nose, it's like overwhelming, most of all. I mean, I haven't even really had time to sort out how I feel about any of this. I can, and she like morphs her hand into a dragon hand, like this, I'm going through a lot of changes, and I don't have time to do anything but worry about protecting everyone else, but that's all I can do right now.
Raya, you're doing a fantastic job of this. You should be proud of who you are and be excited for who you are becoming. I know that this is all overwhelming. It is overwhelming for all of us. But those of us aboard this ship are looking to you and the others as leaders, and you have protected us this far. And you have protected the others. I believe that this is who you are meant to be. Maybe not the part of the Skyfire Legion. You are your own person. You are your own definition of protection. You are your own definition of leader.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Jamila. I just worry that with so many changes happening so quickly, and without time to deal with them, that what's gonna be left? Like, if I keep so rapidly changing, is it still gonna be me, or am I gonna be something different? Kind of Ship of Theseus question, you know?
She chuckles as you say that, and she's like, I'm sorry, I do not mean to laugh, but you are still you, Raya. Listen to yourself. You are questioning everything. If there's nothing more Raya than that.
Well, let's try
change,
to make... Oh, sorry.
Change does not mean oblivion. It just means growth.
Well, some changes mean oblivion if that changes. Throwing yourself in a black fucking hole.
That is not change, that is suicide. And I am in full agreement with you on this.
Alright, well, again, thanks. We've still got this to deal with, so I don't mean to cut this short, but you know I love you. And she puts her hand, squeezes her shoulder against, but we've still got quite a lot to do.
She says, I love you too, Raya. And have faith not only in Desna, but in yourself.
I'll try.
Good night.
Night.
Nakith.
All right, anything else? Yeah, Nakith.
And so Subana is making her way down the hall, and she turns towards Gildy's room. And I don't know what Gildy is doing, but...
Probably just chatting with Toof, looking at the terminal, like waiting for it to decrypt, you know?
You know, just looking at it ain't gonna make it go any faster.
I know, it's hard not to. It's sitting there with the bar, just ever creeping towards the end.
I mean, could we at least play some cards or something like we used to while we're waiting?
Of course, that's a perfect thing we can do to pass the time while we wait.
Let's play some Magic the Gathering. I know how much you like that.
Did someone say Magic the Gathering?
Do you have a deck?
Mono red,
one.
baby.
Yeah.
I have my 5-color pile right here.
So as you guys are playing, Subana walks in.
Yes. So, yeah, just, you got room for a third?
We would have to finish this game.
Yeah, two-headed dragon after that, though.
Yeah.
It's not fair. You're an actual dragon.
Just do a red-green deck. No, Gildy, I just wanted to thank you personally for what you did for me back there. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know why I'm being cagey about it. I mean, thank you for helping me out with that dream bit. It really meant a lot to me. So if you ever need any kind of favors or whatnot, let me know, because I feel indebted to you because of that.
You don't owe me anything, Subana. I felt a deep need to help you in this moment. I guess Desna did as well, but I know that you've been struggling. I am an island, alone. I don't have any family. I have Toof, and I have you, and the rest of the team, but I don't have children or a partner. And I can imagine being away from them and in unknown territory and not knowing what's happening can really, really eat you up on the inside. And I just praise Desna that she gave me the opportunity to help you. And I just hope that you found some respite to all of these. He gestures everywhere, just like Raya did.
Right.
All of this. Right. So if Desna and I can help you in that way, then I will do it.
Gildy, thank you so much for not just I can't help but reflect on this, and thank you so much for not just that, but we would be dead in the water without your assistance with the engine, and we would be much less lively without you and Teef's company. So even if you feel like you don't have your own family, and even though you do recognize us as part of your family, always understand that we have your best interest at heart. And so please, at any point in time when you need help, let us know, and we will try to lean on each other as best as we can, because all we got out here in this cold black is each other. And also, I'm playing this Ristic study, so...
No, that's banned in our games. We do not allow Ristic study.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't familiar. See, this is an old deck, so I wasn't aware. Okay.
I mean, I did not picture you as a blue player. I'm learning a lot about you, Savannah.
I didn't realize that you sucked as a person. So
it's like from down the hall as Raya left to let them talk. It's like, no slivers either.
But I'm here for you, and it warms my heart that you're here for me, and I'll take you up on that offer for a chat once all this is, or the next stage of the chaos is over.
Yeah, once all this is done, just gestures everywhere, like Gildy and Raya did before.
All right. Well, that's sweet. It's good. We'll retroactively say that your inspirations were for all this goodness. So you guys are asleep, right? I need everybody to roll a perception check while they're asleep.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay. It's a negative 20 to the modifier.
Negative 20. Okay.
I mean, there is a negative to it. I can't remember what it is, but
when you're asleep, there is a negative, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is, but barring any negatives, that's a 21.
Okay. What about the rest of y'all? It's a minus 10.
Minus 10?
Minus 10.
So then why are we even
11
bothering
then.
Just roll it. Just roll it. God damn it.
Well,
This is bullshit.
can I use an inspiration?
Sure.
All right. So that's a 20 for me.
Okay.
Not with the minus 10.
Oh, so it's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
With the minus 10, it's a 1.
All right. And what did you get, Zach?
11.
And
That's with the minus 10.
that's with the minus 10. Okay.
Yes.
And then Raya?
Yes, my pointless roll is a 12 with the minus 10.
With the minus 10?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
I
a
rolled
12?
Yeah, I rolled a 22. And then, because I actually have
Heath,
pretty
I need
good
you to check
perception.
yourself because you're the only one that succeeded on that. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is pointless. I wouldn't call for it if it was pointless, and you can always roll a 20. Anyways, Raya, you are awoken by a buzzing on your comm unit. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I mean, and it's just like buzzing.
Snooze.
All right. We'll see you.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, she like groggily kind of shakes herself awake. She's like, what is this?
And you see 5 messages.
Oh, no.
And they're from, you guessed it, Nanura. And it says, help, being attacked. and we'll see you.
In the middle of the night.
One of them's a voice message, just like help, but you hear "Let's get physical." Still going.
Thanks for listening to the STF Network. If you want to hear more from us, check out our other Starfinder and Pathfinder shows at the STFnetwork.com. That's the STFnetwork.com. And support us on Patreon to listen to our bonus podcasts, including our homebrew adventures and Tom Talks, our behind-the-scenes show. Stay groovy, possums.